Already?
Fantastic. Almost beat us to it. Guys, it is November, and it's almost November. It's November 1st, actually. Today's November 1st. So, obviously, Nate and I are here in New York for the New York Marathon. And as you can see behind us, we are on the scene right now at the expo, waiting to go in and talk to all the companies and see all the goods and eat all the foods, all that sort of stuff. We'll be here all weekend. So if you guys are here or around the area, we have events. Do you want to tell us about our events?
I would love to tell you guys about our events. First of all, does it feel weird to be shooting at like 3 p.m.?
I know, right?
It's like a little late afternoon.
I'm missing my smoothie. Yeah.
We're on there's no smoothie. We don't have anything in the background.
And you have the, I think we're going to get people coming in at us all hours, so just get used to it.
I know. But anyway, we have a few really fun things planned.
Yes.
Saturday on Central Park, aka also at the Run Center, if it's raining, we are going to do a little pre-race warm-up and hang out, course talk. Everyone kind of
hopefully do a little run, we'll see.
Hopefully do a little run, get some coffee afterwards, so we're super stoked about that. And then Sunday, we are going to be live streaming the race.
Yeah, we'll be I think mile 15 and no, not mile 15.
23. 22 to 23.
23. Okay. I didn't know where we were going to be.
We're going to be at the top of Central Park, right at as you guys are come barreling down Fifth Ave.
I see Running Geek Girl. Tell me you plan the matching outfits. I did text him this morning, and I was like, "Are we doing vests or are we doing pullovers? Can you see our vests?"
That is very true.
I need to like angle this down a little bit. There you go. But yeah, so we are in matching gear because when we go up and talk to people, we want them to know that we're not just two chumps that we look like. We have a business purpose. So you see, you have live check on.
So I've got the channel right here, guys. So I'm getting your folks. Hello.
Howdy, John's Conscious Life and Juan Lopez.
Running Geek Girl says hello. JD says it's about 8 o'clock here.
No, he says it's 20 hour. It's different.
That's fair.
Today, how's it going? Y'all are wearing the hat I wear on my runs, thanks to the hat TRE. Yeah, I actually, this is a good travel hat.
It is.
Kind of crushes down and
I'm from Virginia. David says hello from South Florida per usual. Edwin says, I'm flying from El Salvador and I'll see you on Saturday.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh, amazing.
That's awesome.
We're super stoked for that. Kelly says, how much fun in New York? We will. Tony, my goal is sub 4 this Sunday.
Fantastic.
Well, we'll have to talk about that on this show. Guys, there is a link down below for a very special giveaway.
Yep.
Because it is the time we get to give away some of our own stuff.
Fantastic.
In honor of the New York City Marathon, we are giving away one marathon program.
Fantastic.
16 weeks long. All the coaching, program strength, injury support you'll need to have a good race. Those marathon programs are too long for nothing to go wrong. Something will.
You know, I just realized that nobody's complaining about the sound, which means that it's working right.
I think that's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Greg
anyway,
from Florence, Kentucky. I used to run in Florence, Kentucky. Good to see you.
Yeah. Getting a little warm. These vests are
I'm thrown off just by the fact, hey Jessica, I'm thrown off by the fact that we are not at home. I
know, it's very odd.
Just used to having the table here, and now it's just people all around.
Smoothie. But you were very smart to bring our tripod.
I appreciate that.
I do appreciate
Carried it on the plane, huffed it over here.
You really did. How did they have problems with it?
No, it's fine. It's all right. If they took it away, it was going to be like whatever.
Did you put it in your guitar case?
And my guitar got swapped for this. I had to go to guitarless. I never, ever travel without my guitar. And
it's a big sacrifice, guys.
It is.
It's a big sacrifice because this guy always has the guitar in hand.
It prevents me from being bored. And when you travel with Nate, sometimes, you know, it gets a little... we just realized, and I know we got to get it all out. We just realized this is our 4th time in New York together.
Yeah.
We spent probably a good 2.5, 3 weeks here.
Yeah, I know.
Total. Yeah.
It's been a lot. I really like it. I think every time I come back, I enjoy it more.
Yeah.
I enjoy the city. And this time of year is incredible. Fall in New England is just killing it. Like I went running on Wednesday morning, a nice nippy 32 degrees.
Oh, nice.
Frost everywhere. Ran along the Charles River. Track is great. And then taking the train down from Boston, because if you could ever take the train from Boston to New York,
is it down or is it up?
Train down? I think it'd be down. Boston's north.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'd be going south.
Okay. I'm not from the East Coast, guys. I know nothing.
And it's like all along the waterfront, and you're just kind of in along the coastline. It's like a little New England coastline. It's lovely.
I
Lovely.
would say that running in New York is a mixed bag.
Yeah.
I mean, there's kind of cool because I'm like here running. I'm like, oh, like you
Yeah.
see so many videos of the city and so many. It's kind of cool to be here, but it's all concrete.
It really is.
So
that is fair.
I guess I could go in the park, but even then I'm running on the road. Jeff, I will share my husband's advice. He's not a runner. Every time I'm going in a race. Oh, she's sharing advice to somebody's a first-time marathoner.
Yeah.
I was going to talk about my first marathon over
Yeah,
here.
I want to talk about your race in New York because Craig has done this race a few times, and I've never done it, but Craig can give us a skinny on his experience. The link for the marathon program is down in the description per usual. Click that green link. We'll do the drawing live next week, so get in there. You wanna win that thing.
My New York Marathon, if I haven't told the story already, was the end of my marathoning phase when I was, I guess, 30, and I'd done, pretty much all the major ones except for London, and then a bunch of not-major ones like Seattle I did 3 times, and I was going to marathons like every 4 to 6 months I would run one, and I just kind of use it as a way to go around the city and or go around the country and meet friends and whatever it is, and then I'd run a race. New York happened to fall that year on today, November 1st.
Wow.
So that means that if it falls on November 1st, it means that the day before was Halloween, and it means that it was Halloween on a Saturday.
Oh my goodness.
In New York, and I came and I was like,
And you were young and foolish and wanted to be out there with
I'm not gonna miss Halloween in New York.
Women of
I
New
went
York
to the parade, and then I got all dressed up, went out with my friends, and I think I had like one drink, which is still.
per bar?
No,
per
just
conversation.
But here's the thing: it was raining. It was kind of like the confluence of all things horrible because it was raining. Oh, we're actually on a show right now.
Yeah.
You can be on if you'd like.
Yeah.
So it was raining. I got wet. I was coughing, and then I had a competitive start, so it meant that I was on the first bus out there. And if you haven't been to the New York Marathon,
let's break this down, right?
Yeah.
Because the race starts kind of late, right?
It does.
In
It
the
starts like
morning.
9:45, 10.
Like Holly and I were just in Chicago, and
That
the
starts
race
early.
started at 7.
Yeah.
But logistics-wise, it's not that bad because the start and finish of the race is maybe a half mile apart.
Yep.
Right. For New York, you have to go to a whole other part of the city, and they have to put 50,000 people out there.
Yeah.
Right. So they have to start really early. So the race is like 9:50.
Yep.
And what time did you have to get on the bus?
I think I was on the bus at like 4:45 or so, which meant I got about 45 minutes of sleep.
Dude.
And and so it was the sleep actually was not that much of a factor. I had run the New York half
You just
marathon.
had adrenaline at that point.
And the New York half marathon, I did the same thing, except I didn't sleep at all.
Yeah.
I just went straight from the bar, got my shoes, and then went to the race, and it actually went out quite well. But this one, I was like, okay, I was trained up, I was fine, but I was coughing was the problem. So I'm sitting out in the rain, coughing for 3 hours. The race starts. I'm clicking away, normal pace, but I'm working really hard. And I decided after about like 13, I was about halfway through, and I was like, man, something's wrong. I ended up finishing the race, like kind of a dead man's march. But it turns out that the coughing was, if you remember the bird flu H1N1, that was what that was.
Oh,
and so I had
wonderful.
pneumonia by the end of it, and I ended up having to stay in New York for an extra 3 days. Couldn't get on a plane.
So question,
Not worth it.
where did the contamination occur? Was it on the race course?
It probably-
Was it a bus?
Probably not, actually. I mean, I was
it out
coughing
and about?
before I was out and about, so
Yeah.
you're in New York around a lot of people. Who knows what
And
it is?
then you just kicked your immune system in the groin.
Oh man,
That's really what you
I didn't
do.
recover. I couldn't go to work for almost 2 weeks. I remember. I watched the entire season of Friday Night Lights, the entire thing, front to back, all 5
Tammy
seasons.
Taylor?
Yes. I've
watched that show. It's pretty good.
It's a great show.
It is.
Anyhow, that was my New York experience. So I cannot say that like the race itself was something that I really
Do you remember highlights? Had you only done it once, or you done it more than once?
I just done I did Chicago 3 times. So I've done New York
wow.
once. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what do you remember from the different sections, or any sections of the course that really stood out for you?
I think the one, be aware that when you're at the start, like there's going to be a bunch of lead time, because even if you get there late, that means you're in a later wave.
Right.
You're going to be waiting there probably an hour, if not more.
Yep.
And if you're in the front, you can be waiting there for a long time. So prepare. It's cold in the morning. People who knew about the race, they came in ponchos, and they knew. I was totally unprepared. And then it goes through all the boroughs. And if you can obviously look at the map. But getting up into, you kind of pass Central Park and you get up into the Bronx. And that is kind of like where rubber meets the road as far as like, you're past mile 20. And for me, that was a very bad time of this race. But I would say that like, the thing about New York is that there's people the entire
There really
way.
is, yeah.
It's unbelievable. We are going to be some of those people on
We'll
Sunday.
be some of those people
Yeah.
in Central Park. I think what's interesting was I was reading about the course, how you come into Manhattan early and then you leave Manhattan and then do mile 2021, I think you said is the Bronx.
Yeah, and then come back into it.
And then you come back in. But there's a risk of when you get into Manhattan for the first time, you are amped.
Yeah.
And people can go a little hard there.
Yep, that's actually, I mean, I remember coming across the bridge back and just feeling like my legs were they're just not working. So, what do we have here?
What do we got here? So Alanka says, on my way there, so excited.
Oh,
We are
fantastic.
pumped there.
Yeah, come see us.
Carrie asks, when is Craig going to place a tune on the live show?
Sometime in the future, I suppose. It won't be in the past.
We should, maybe we need
My
a theme
YouTube
song.
debut.
We need a theme song for our live
That's
show.
what we should do is I'll do okay, I'll work on that.
I love it. Kelly says, I've been running for 5 years. I've completed 24 half marathons.
Fantastic.
I keep thinking I should do one marathon just to say I did one, but the half is still hard. How should I do one, or does it matter?
Let me tell you something. After running lots of marathons, and I know a lot of you guys have run a lot more than I have, I love the half marathon distance.
Yeah.
The reason I love it is it can be a very healthy like a healthy run, a healthy race at a normal size amount of training. I think that oftentimes runners, especially for us that are amateurs, do not realize how much of a difference it takes, because there's not that much difference in terms of what it takes to finish a half marathon versus a marathon.
Yeah.
But to run a half marathon healthy takes a certain amount of training and base mileage. But to run a marathon and be healthy, I think takes a lot of base work.
There's a little more seasoning there.
Yeah.
So
I love the half marathon.
So I love it too. So here's my thing. I think racing any distance can feel really hard.
That's
right.
true.
Like if you cross the finish line for 5K or 10K, you're spitting fire, and it's challenging.
True. Yep.
And there might be the mentality of like, how am I going to go further, right? Because I just destroyed myself. So the idea of like you've got so many races underneath your belt, you've done a lot of the training.
Yep.
Now it's just about slowing things down and extending out a little bit, and that's not that bad. But I feel like it's got to be the desire.
The other thing is that the 24 half marathons, you can train. I mean, you can do this with marathons too, depending on how hard you're going. But like, you can train, hit the half marathon, and just keep training. Almost straight through. You can run the next day. Marathons, for me at least, have always beaten me up enough where there's a glut afterwards where I actually lose a little bit of fitness because
you're
I
taking
can't,
a break.
even if I can train, either mentally I'm not in it, physically I'm definitely not able to train hard if I'm able to train at all.
Yeah.
And so I usually take a week and a half where I'm like, and so I actually, there's a lot of reason to stay in the half marathon range for quite a while.
I just listened to an interview with Ben Rosario, who is the head coach for the Hoka Northern Arizona Elite Squad, and they will have a few athletes on the starting line out here, including Stephanie Bruce.
Okay.
Who Aaron knows from high school, my wife.
Okay.
Yeah, or some kind of connection from there. And he really has his elite runners more or less take a full month off.
Wow.
Like a solid week to 2 weeks
That's
of like
crazy.
no running, and then a week of like little gentle jogs, and then maybe a little bit more. But like from their level, like they're like 4 weeks of like really low.
That's intense. I think that, when you're at a professional level, the amount of miles those people are putting in, they're running the same distance race that all of us at 4 and 5 and 6 hours are running.
Yeah.
And it's not, they still cannot race all that often. The marathon is a very serious endeavor on your body.
We just got to meet Gwen Jorgensen.
That's right. She's going to be on our live show soon.
She's going to be on our live show soon. We talked to her and her husband, and she's got a great channel.
Tell people who Gwen is. I don't think
So
anybody knows.
Gwen is an Olympic gold medalist triathlete, American.
Should have seen him when he met her. Just
I
got all
was fanboying a little
flushed.
bit. So I grew up. I
all
got a little fanboy. I grew
I
up
was like,
in the
oh yeah, I
triathlon
think
world.
I've seen her on TV before. That's cool. This guy's getting
know.
all getting his words all stumbled
This
out.
dude doesn't even know. It's
Kind of like how I was with Dean Karnazes, actually.
I know, right? gold medal at Rio in dominating fashion.
Yeah.
Just one of the fast, like the Ironman distance triathletes are impressive.
Yeah.
In the same way that the marathoners are, but like she went to
Speed.
she was like the 10K specialist, right? So imagine the best 10,000 meter runner in the world on the track. They are thoroughbreds.
Was
in
she
the
a 10K
extreme.
runner before?
I don't know. That's a good
Or was she
question.
always a tri person?
If she always triathlon, I feel like she probably had a running background. just
It
the
is
way she
interesting
looks.
to go from being an Olympic triathlete to a marathon elite runner.
So she just ran Chicago. We saw her running out there,
Yep.
and she is trying to make the 2020
Olympic team.
for marathon.
Yep. What's the cutoff there?
Well, it's a placing thing. So she has the A standard. I think she has to go 237. I think is the A standard for
Yep.
women. But in reality,
You'd have to go a lot lower than that to actually
in reality,
make the
with
team.
the American women, she's probably going to have to run a 225 or faster to make the team.
That is
know.
impressive.
So anyway, so she's here.
And we're going to see Shalane and Des come by at mile 23. I'm actually really
Yes.
looking forward to seeing what shakes out there.
We're going to go meet Des Linden's husband tomorrow because triathlon strikes again. We
Yeah.
are friends, and I didn't even know that.
I don't drink coffee, so I would say that I'm just there to meet the people.
He's just there to meet the people. I'm really there for the coffee.
That's right.
Which will be fun. But we're going to go hang out with him, and who knows?
Yeah.
knows?
So of you guys that are listening in live right now, I'm curious to hear what marathons that you guys are targeting as your big race. I mean, New York is definitely a big one that a lot of people get into. It's just a lot of fanfare. One of the things that's really interesting about this race is the number of participants that are international.
It's such an international race.
Yeah.
Tony, where are you from? Speaking of if you're national, international, because Tony, this will be his 5th marathon, but his first in New York City.
Okay.
Fun to see where
Yeah,
people
interested
are
to hear
coming in
what the
from.
other ones are that he ran.
Totally. And as people are, jumping in there, what did Jeff say?
It says
Did an extremely rough obstacle race last Saturday, frontline OCR, did a short run the day after, 3.5 miles, just been relaxing, recovering since then. Should I continue to rest before the run on Saturday?
Oh, is he running?
Jeff, are you racing this weekend?
I guess he's racing this weekend.
I would do, if let's say you're racing this weekend, I would do some kind of smoother,
Is that the
short
quad
shakeout
runner?
runs. Yeah, Forsadine.
All right. So Forsadine runner. I'm forgetting his first real name. I looked it up.
I know. Andy?
Andy. That's what I was gonna say.
Andy.
So I looked at your channel just recently this morning, and I noticed that he does a review of lots of running channels.
he's reviewed
and
our
honestly,
channel.
the first thing he did a review of a running channels, and he did like season 3 or whatever. And I was looking on there, I was like, how did we not make it? Like, how is he not putting us in? And then I realized he'd done like, it's okay. He did a bunch of seasons before, and he profiled us before. I was like, how did we not make it into the YouTube running channel niche? I thought that was our niche.
We gotta pick up our game.
Yeah.
It's really.
Anyhow, it's
really
really
what that all
cool
is
to
about.
see how many people are creating running videos.
Yeah, it really
they
is.
may not have like tons of followers, and they're not cranking out as many, but like the quality of videos is really great. So I'm actually looking forward. I want to connect with Forsadine Runner and see if just kind of like start to create a little bit of community around people who are creating running content.
You don't know this, but
You were on there.
Well, I had a phone call with a collegiate runner, athlete who's a freshman at College of William and Mary, and he's been putting out videos on his running and his team and everything else. So he may do a video or two for us.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I like it.
Excited. What else did I want to bring up here? There was another little comment that I wanted to see. Tony says, I've done Wineglass Marathon in Bath, New York twice, Marine Corps Marathon, Oklahoma City Marathon. I live in Barton, New York, 3-hour drive from the city. Oh, okay. So you've done a mix of like, Marine Corps Marathon's a big race.
Yep.
These other ones are not. You just have to tell me if you guys like the big races versus not, because there's like the energy of them, right? There's so many people, but then sometimes the logistics and the hassle is
expensive.
Tough. Yeah. I think for some of the, the marathon, it does make it feel more
That
like
is
a
a
show.
good question. I would love to know how much do you know how much you spend on like races just in general throughout the year?
Yeah.
Like, because if you go to, the person just said they did 24 half marathons.
Yeah.
Those race entries definitely rack up, and then you got to travel to each of them, and you got to maybe stay overnight, so on and so forth. There's a real, it's a real investment of effort and time and
It
resource.
really is.
Yeah.
We got a bunch chiming in from before. Stefan says targeting
Los Angeles. Okay.
for second
Very
marathon.
Cool. The Monumental Marathon. Where is that in Washington D.C.? Did I just make that up?
This sounds like it would be the Monumental race.
Yeah.
Totally. Andy says, I've got the Newport Marathon next May, which I'll start training for in January, with the aim to get a good
Kelly Olson says a lot of money. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Mark's got Marine Marathon. John says, I've ran 2 marathons this year, missing my 4-hour goal by 11 seconds.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
The first time, but then running 3:57 the second time.
I want to know,
marathon plans for 25.
What was your last half-mile time versus your first half-mile time of that race where you missed it?
Oh, yeah.
When I hit the competitive start race qualifying time for New York, it got down to the last 800 at Boston, and I made it by like 6 seconds, but it came down to like, oh man, it's go time here, and my legs don't work.
I don't know if this is something that's like super well known, but the competitive qualifying times for New York is actually harder than Boston.
Yeah, I think it was 2:55 when I did it.
Yeah. Incredible, right? And they just moved Boston 3:05 to 3.
Yep.
And 3:10. So they just moved Boston down, but still not as fast as New York City.
Well, the competitive start is not a whole lot of people.
Yeah.
Right. It's meant to be a guaranteed entry, but So
no big deal.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is the guaranteed entry, because I think I entered it there. The reason I didn't run New York many times was I'd come here for the race, but
it's hard with the charity.
You just can't get in. I mean, like I think I applied 3 times and I never got in.
You never
so
did.
Finally, I was like, okay, I have to try to qualify.
I love it. You guys are all chiming in here. Melomia says, I did a bunch of marathons and Ironmans, but now I love ultra running.
Nice.
Although I've only done 1 so far.
Hey, ultra running is a totally different type of running.
Do you love ultra running, even though you've done more than 1 so far?
I've done 4.
I feel like you're a reluctant runner right now.
I like the training. I don't know if I like the race that much.
Yeah.
I will say the one that we did.
Are you glad you're not racing the North Face race this year?
I'm mixed feelings about it, because last year at this time I was putting these
really
20-mile runs, but the thing I liked about it was like it was just so beautiful, and not all marathons or ultra runs are like that. It was unbelievably gorgeous, but I was so destroyed that I couldn't stop and look around.
You're just staring at this pin. It's just all blurry and
I saw a friend of mine on the course who was just out for a hike, and she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm in a race. I can't stop and talk." And it was this massive scene of 200 degrees of ocean, and she was there on a hike having a good time, and I was like, "Man, I should be on a hike right now. I've been running for the last 4.5 hours. Why am I doing this?"
Gosh,
yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Back to some of our earlier stuff.
Yeah.
John's Conscious Life says, my pace was dead on perfect. This was the 4-hour to the 3:57 marathon. Even splits. A 2-minute pre-break was the issue. That's a long pee.
Oh, man. Yeah. Okay, first of all, you don't know how to pee when you're running?
Do you?
If I was trying to get a qualifying time, you better bet your ass I would have peed while I was running.
I feel like the times that I've really needed to pee when I run, I just keep running and it kind of goes away.
Doesn't always go away.
I don't know if my body reabsorbs the pee. Does your body I feel like I should know that.
When I was in high school, the girls often would because girls have a harder time holding it in than men do, and having yellow socks was a common occurrence at the end of the race. And I didn't have to do it. It's only a 3-mile race in high school. That was never a thing. But definitely on a triathlon. Tell me you didn't pee on yourself during triathlon.
Oh, all the time. But I usually peed on the bike.
Yes.
I was make sure I peed
Running
on the
is
bike
more difficult.
so I didn't have to stop. I don't know if I've ever peed myself while running.
I definitely.
Have you guys peed yourself while running? Whether
it's not like I do it on a normal training
seriously
day.
Not.
That's not a thing. But if I'm in a race,
I could pee myself right now if I wanted to.
I don't know why you brought that up.
Do you want
This is going to be a new first on YouTube where Nate pees while he's alive. John's Conscious Life says the longest pee.
Longest pee.
I mean,
oh my god.
I
just couldn't not
it's not
pee.
It's not
and it was very crowded where I needed to go. Long rows, longest row of my life.
Oh,
amazing.
No, you just keep going, and then the next aid station, what you do is you just grab a bunch of things and just dump it over yourself.
Yeah.
And you're good to go. Nobody will ever know. I mean, people might know the difference, but I only ever peed while swimming. and a try. Otherwise, it would be dry and comfortable is my motto.
Yeah, I know. Right?
No, your body does not reabsorb it. I don't know if that was a serious question, but now we know. Okay.
Now we know.
My
Now we
personal
know.
opinion is if you are racing and you're going for qualifying time, pee. Discussion. I will say though,
I feel like we
practice
need more
peeing.
certainty on the whole absorption issue.
No, according to research, you need to recycle urine to maintain hydration. I never pee until done.
Well.
Wait, I never pee until done? What does that mean?
Until done with the.
Oh, until done with
the
peeing.
race.
So he leaves a little bit in the tank to reabsorb that hydration. Is that right? I've never heard of that.
I don't know.
I don't think I'm going to consider doing that.
We thought we were being all smart and clever and funny, but we may have stumbled upon the next thing for 2019. Maybe we should make a how to pee while you're running video.
Well, I don't know where this live show went awry, but now we spent the last 10 minutes talking about pee.
Hey, you know how it is.
We were supposed to be talking about the New York Marathon.
We should be talking about the marathon, and let's get back in. Major marathon, it's a Thursday, right?
Yeah.
For those runners who are running on Sunday, what should the next few days look like? What do your 2 days look like before race?
One, I keep running.
Strumming the guitar.
Yeah, I keep running. I like
strumming the Rocky song. Keep yourself motivated.
No, I don't
No.
even. Is that a? Dun, 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 yeah, that
It could be Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah, could be it. I feel that hydration and sleep are most important in the 3 days before. Hydration is definitely important the day before. My personal thing is if you are well rested going into the race. Oftentimes for me, the night before the race, I don't sleep that well. I'm getting up early.
You're nervous.
I try to go to bed earlier than usual, which usually doesn't work that well. I'm like keyed up a little bit. I remember for my Ironman, I must have slept like an hour and a half. Like I was so keyed up.
Sure.
I was just, I had special diet. I was just like so keyed up about the race, I just couldn't sleep, and didn't impact me at all. I don't think.
Yeah, I feel like
I was well rested before.
Not stressing the night or two before, if it's really been the few previous weeks, has been really good.
Yeah.
I think that is the internet slow? We are streaming, so it might be coming in and out a little bit.
I think that I don't know. It's been good so far. If anybody has problems, let us know.
I like to keep running and moving a little bit.
Yep.
I think the danger, say, of going to a city like New York is it is a walking city. You're on your feet a lot. And for us, we're going to be on our feet probably 8-10 hours a day for the next 3 days.
Yep.
That's our marathon. But if you wanted to be the New York City tourist, walk everywhere, be on your feet a lot, while also doing the race on Sunday, that could be a little hard.
I feel like for me personally, it's kind of the shopping feeling of like if you're on your feet for 6 hours a day, it's worse to me than going out and doing a few miles and then taking it easy. So jet lag, great point. This race thankfully is not super early in the morning.
Yeah.
They say like you need 1 day per hour of jet lag.
Yeah.
I generally feel that is true for me. There's also I've heard that you can time your eating according to the schedule that you're going to. So if you're coming from London, you can try to get on the eating schedule a couple days beforehand, which might mean eating very late at night, that sort of thing, and that can help you kind of regulate your body earlier.
There. Now, when we had Dean on, we talked about how he tries to plan fun things for his family.
Yep.
So he makes them over trips. You guys have family coming.
He's also superhuman, so he'll finish the marathon and then just
and not drink anything.
Yeah, not drink anything.
Because his body
and then do jumping
reabsorbs
jacks
the pee.
for 4 hours.
He doesn't sweat. It's just a full internal system. Dude, I'm just saying.
Okay, well, you know
saying.
what? I think that what you should do is only pee 50% for the rest of the weekend and see if you feel like you
know I have a small bladder and use the bathroom all the time.
That is not because you have a small bladder. It's because you drink coffee all day.
I do not drink coffee all day. I drink one coffee each day, and that is.
And then you're not peeing it out fully,
coffee.
so it keeps coming out through the rest of the day.
It does. I reabsorb the coffee, so I get this I sip it slow, and I reabsorb the coffee, and then it just gets.
Oh man, keeping body in homeostasis during race is how you start and end. For me, like meditation has become such a part of my life that that would be something that these days would become part of my race program. When I was a little kid and I was a swimmer and I swam competitively all year round, we used to do these visualizations and it's kind of like a meditation, but we did it sometimes after practice, and then it would be kind of like, hey, how can we go to our special place?
Visualizing how the race is going to go.
Yeah, and more than that, I think keeping your stress level low is sometimes not something people think about. but the state of your mind in terms of like your anxiety can really cost you a lot in terms of your physiology.
It really can.
So I think that keeping in an even keel, not doing things or being around people or whatever that is going to keep you at an
It's
elevated
fair.
level.
This is a very stimulating environment where we are back here, and guys, we haven't even really started yet. This is the Thursday before. Tomorrow and Saturday, this place is going to be bananas.
Yep.
So, like, come in here, get your stuff, get a little amped, but if you're that person who needs to bounce and not see runners, like, exit the premises.
Yep.
Go see a movie, go relax. I think the ideal would be you come in for the race and then maybe have an extra day or two afterwards to kind of eat your way through the city and enjoy it, because
Totally.
speaking of,
Yeah.
where are we going to eat in New York?
Oh, right. It's
I'm
true.
very excited about
That's true. We have not really chosen our locales.
our restaurants. Yeah, we
Yeah.
got to do that.
Fantastic. I actually have not been. Yesterday was trick or treating. I handed out.
Oh, yeah.
Can I tell you what about it? You
Please.
guys will enjoy this. So my friend lives in the West Village. I was at their house. They have a lot of people come by. We're talking like 500, 800 people come by.
Whoa.
It's like, yeah, it's massive. And so we
You
had
have to buy like
a lot of candy.
$300 worth of candy.
Oh, way
Or
more
way
than that.
more than that.
Yeah, because we actually, last year and this year, instead of just giving out candy, I let the kids do a Halloween challenge.
Oh,
And
I
the
remember
Halloween
that.
challenge,
They had to sing.
yeah, is if they sing a song. We had a mic this year. They sang a song. You can actually check out my Instagram, CraigMD on Instagram, and you can see the story. It's great. I just posted it. But we had 200 kids who sang last night. We handed out 200 king-size candy bars.
Whoa.
On top of probably like 70 or 80 pounds of actual candy.
Oh
It was
my
insane. Celebrities come by with their kids. It's crazy. People like come in
What
from all
celebrities did
over.
you see last night?
Last year, so there were a couple that I knew, recognized, but I don't know their names. Last year, like Katrina, what's that? The one who's married to Edward Norton. Edward Norton and his wife came
Yeah.
by. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then a couple other people, like some soap opera people. I don't know. I'm really bad at celebrities. I only know this guy. So
Whatever, you're getting recognized as much as I am here.
that is
True.
absolutely not
Absolutely
true.
true. Force Humor says, I'm off training out, guys. Have an awesome weekend. Looking forward to the live stream on Sunday.
Fantastic.
We'll
let's
see you
connect
there.
afterwards. Yeah.
Stefan says, check out Pizza Park on 1st Ave and 66th Street. Great spot for the marathon as well.
I would love to hear, Force Dean Runner is actually just hopped off, but I would love to hear from the rest of you, what other YouTube channels around running and fitness do you subscribe to, or do you watch? You don't have to subscribe. Do you watch? Because we would love to like kind of connect with more YouTube people,
Yeah.
and we'd love to know who you guys are interested in.
I
Ginger
know-
Runner, we know him, so
Yeah,
that's,
I know
that's one
some
there.
of you guys have your own channels here. We have a little slowdown every once in a while on the internet, but that's what it does. What did I see here? Carrie says, are you guys going to do an Expo live show? I loved the last one.
Oh.
We might get on and walk around a little bit. It all depends.
So here's the thing about the Expo Live show is that we like kind of talking to you guys and being on. Sometimes when you go talk to the people at the booth, they want to give you their like 5 minutes marketing spiel. So we have to kind of like hit it and quit it. So it gets a little bit tough to do the logistics. But if you guys like it, maybe we'll do it on Saturday. Yeah.
We'll be doing some little special broadcasts these next few days, I have a feeling.
for sure.
Edward chimes in, greetings from the land of frozen salmon. The salmon are getting frozen now. We talked about that last week
Wait, you mean like
with Edward.
Dude.
Where were we? Were you there? Or no, that was the beginning of our team call on Monday.
Oh, right.
All the salmon are dead now.
Okay.
All the salmon are dead now up in Alaska, and they stay frozen in the ice, and the eagles eat the salmon later on.
Who's saying
that
about
a fun fact?
They said Runner's World. Do you follow Runner's World? I don't ever see anything from Runner's World online. Running Guru is awesome. Very cool.
Running Guru is awesome. Rez runs. Heather Jurgensen, for sure. Oh,
Heather Jurgensen
Disney
I've seen.
runs. Interesting.
Oh, I haven't seen Disney runs. Okay.
I love that.
Very cool. Nice. Oh yeah. Any other channels you guys follow? I almost all my stuff I follow is either guitar
I
stuff
know.
or that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Actually.
So let's circle back to talking a little bit about the race, pre-race stuff.
Yeah.
We kind of talked about not going too crazy, trying to be off your feet a little bit, enjoying some things. We were talking about this the other day about carb loading is not really a thing anymore because the decrease in your exercise and activity the few days before is going to take care of that.
Right.
So eating pretty regular, Again, Dean, if you're watching
Bernays
Dean,
is-
can be a little bit of a.
He's not a good person to benchmark off of.
I know he can be kind of a weirdo in that respect. He's like, I ate a leaf green and ran 80 miles.
Yeah.
And recycled my own pee, and you're like, how do you do that?
He's not the average Joe. I will say it is interesting to see what the human body can do when you look at somebody like him. I mean, how old is he? 50, 57?
I have no
Something
idea.
like that. It's insane. So actually, this is going off topic again, but after we talked to him, I installed that pull-up bar in our office. It's been great.
It has been really nice.
Yeah, I can do a lot of pull-ups now.
All right, let's get back on topic.
Okay. I thought you were going to ask me a question about that, but okay, whatever.
We'll go back to the pull-up bar. It is really nice. I've been enjoying, relaxing and leaning. But
So the bottom line is recycle pee and don't eat so many carbs with the race. Okay, we're going to continue with this. Okay, my main thing is to keep consistent. Like, I don't think that you should change what you're eating all of a sudden. You've been training, you've been doing long runs. Like, keep consistent with what you're eating. I do think that when you travel, it gets to be an interesting thing because when you eat out, there's much higher sodium levels in food. That you're tempted to like try different food,
and depending where you are from a hotel standpoint, if you have to get up early, a lot of like race hotels will like get up early with you and have some sort of athlete's breakfast. But do your research there. Think about, what do I want? If I like certain oatmeal, can I bring that with me? Am I able to heat that up in using a little coffee maker?
Yep.
Elizabeth did a little trick where she said, hey, I could actually cook my oatmeal in the coffee maker because they've got a little hot plate in essence.
Oh, interesting.
And mix that in there, or however you want to have that set up. For something like New York, did you bring snacks with you from the 4:45 you had to get on to the 10 a.m. start?
I did, not enough. I remember being pretty miserable there.
I
did not realize how long
I
it was
would
going to be.
want something warm to drink. I would want something salty to sip on, and maybe an extra snack or two for that whole thing.
I also think clothing is super important before a race.
Staying warm.
If you
Especially
are
for these fall
freezing,
races.
I mean Chicago, I remember not having enough warm clothes. Because also you can be in Chicago's a great race where you super hot one year, super cold the next year. Boston's like that.
It really can.
New York is a little bit more consistent. This is usually the temperature it's at.
And they can have, what was I going to say? They can have stuff that you can either just throw away, or they have bag drops, which you can go. But if your bag drop, don't put anything in there that you hope to see again, necessarily, right?
Is
So
that
don't
right?
put your, well,
I never lost anything.
would you put your cell phone in the bag drop or your wallet in your social security number?
I have. I have done that in the past. I mean, it's a good question,
If you can, that's interesting. The phone is great to have sometimes to run with. Do you run with your phone
I don't.
in a race? You will not.
I mean,
I've kinda gotten to the
now that
point
we're
where
doing
I
stuff
would.
with TRE and like last time we had
But
people
even
we had
being
to
able
call
to
and
get
stuff
in
like
touch
that.
with your family after the race
Yeah.
and things like that.
Now that we're doing this stuff, I think I would. When I was
Yeah.
serious about racing, no.
Yeah.
Although, fun fact, I once ran the Bombay Marathon in India. I was there for
Really?
a few months. I did. Cost me $4 to enter.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
I think it was worth less than that.
Okay.
But I didn't. There was no bag drop, so I carried my phone the whole way, and I talked to my friends. It was in the middle because it was nighttime back at home, and
Go for Craig.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Running as
So
we
it wasn't a serious marathon, but it was people do all kinds of things. Some people cannot run without music.
Yeah.
My personal contention is that you should be doing
I like
some
to
running
be social
without
in the
music.
race.
Yeah.
I like to have that experience. I mean, obviously up to you.
He blows me a kiss as he goes by me.
I know.
See you later.
See you later, buddy. Well, hey, you're the one who skedaddled up the road in the beginning of that stuff.
little Ginger Runner VO2 Max Production Stage Canada. Nice.
Yeah, those are good. That's a good list there. The one thing I will say, and I made this mistake the last time I ran Boston because I ran it through the charity wave, so I was starting on the way back.
Yep.
I got very antsy in the first few miles because I was not running at a pace that I could control.
Right.
And I was just shoulder to shoulder with people, and I felt very claustrophobic. I feel like it's important to visualize what that's going to feel like and to know that's going to be a thing.
Yeah.
And your pace, the first mile or two may not be perfect for what you want to do, but the course is going to open up, or it's going to open up enough where you can do your thing.
Somebody was mentioning Aftershocks headphones.
I do like
those. Are the
those.
ones. Yeah, they're the ones that.
I know. I got them in
here.
my bag right now.
Do you?
I listened to a little podcast this morning
Yeah.
while running on the Charles
I find
River.
that when it's loud out, those I can't hear them as well. But that's kind of the purpose. That
That's
you don't
the
have
purpose.
you don't have to be totally closed off to the world.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing. The Apple Watch now holds music. So you don't have to run with your
The
your
Fitbit
phone.
Ionic.
I've actually put music on there.
Yeah.
It's a
I
little
have
bit of a
not
chore.
gone that far with the Fitbit Ionic.
We have a lot of gadgets coming our
We
way.
do.
I will say
And
that this Aura
I'm
ring
notoriously bad with
is
things.
pretty good.
I feel like when I get sent something, and this sounds terrible, but I need to have it sit on my table
It has to ripen.
for like
a
2
banana.
weeks, like a banana, before I'm like, okay, I should probably open this.
That's a little bit of a Luddite over here. But
I know, and you're like
the
unboxing
Garmin-
like a kid at Christmas
you know,
morning. the first one.
I mean to talk to Garmin while we're over here because I've not tried out their watches, but I'd
Yeah.
love to. Yeah.
I
So
love that.
So in terms of marathon stuff, I do feel like the closer you can be to your normal schedule, the better off you are.
Totally.
And that means if you need to get here earlier to acclimate to the time change, if you need to bring food with you that is familiar to you, that's a thing. Changing a lot of things, including, they always say don't change your running shoes, but changing a lot of things is always kind of adds issues.
Totally. Edward says Garmin 645 has music now as
Yep.
well, which is super interesting. Lucas chiming in, what up guys, this is my first time doing this live show. I'm an endurance runner and I've been watching you guys now for a couple months.
Fantastic.
Getting some good info from you. Thank you.
That's awesome.
Well, welcome Lucas.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Jump in
Love
that training
having you
club.
on there. Exactly.
Guys, if we have not mentioned below, of course, Lucas, I don't know what program that you're in, but we are giving away one of our marathon programs.
Yeah.
The Gleam link is below, so you can check that out. Hit the Gleam link below, you go to a page,
You'll be able to enter.
it. Are we going to do our drawing from last week?
Yes.
Fantastic.
We are going to do a drawing from last week.
And we'll be doing our drawing from last week. One of the things we do is to delay the drawing for a week so that all you guys who are watching and it's not live can still
Yeah,
enter.
you guys can still enter.
Yeah.
Jeff says, if you run with music, I love Aftershocks headphones. That way you can hear what's going on around you. That's the whole Aftershocks conversation. I'm late to the game. I'm just catching up. Sam says, okay, this is going. He wrote out something with a lot of letters.
We have an acronym here.
Be suave. Say positive words to yourself. Use your training to lean on. Ask yourself, what is the goal, and repeat it. Visualize the race to the end. Endure the struggle as reward and have fun.
I like it.
Be suave.
Be
Be
suave.
suave, guys. love
Somebody was mentioning their headphones and music. We are headed to the Jaybird event tonight. Jaybird is a headphone company. If you have not been introduced to them, they are
In-ear headphones.
In-ear headphones, and they have some that are like completely wireless, that
Yeah.
are Bluetooth. That are pretty cool. We've tried out a bunch of them. I'm curious, what do you guys run in? I have actually been running in my AirPods, which are definitely not a running headphone, but they're just so easy because they're just there.
I was talking to Jessica just
Yeah.
an hour or two ago, just catching up on things in TRE land, and she loves her AirPods.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we were kind of talking about that before. Yeah, what do you guys wear for headphones, and are you headphones in races or not? I think that would be interesting to know.
Yeah. I don't know that I've ever worn headphones in a race.
I don't know if I have either.
I do think that if you were to keep the songs at the right cadence, that could be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Earbuds, yeah, I have weird ears. Earbuds don't work for me.
Didn't the Spotify get rid of the cadence thing? Didn't they deprecate
They
that?
did, but there's still playlists. I have some playlists actually. I
Oh.
should share those playlists that like different cadences.
I know. Well, if you guys are curious about the cadence thing, we just released on Monday I just released on Monday a cadence video with 2 workouts designed to improve it. Which
Wait,
is
did you
kinda
just
fun.
claim that video? How come I didn't get any credit for that video? I didn't do anything for
You
it.
didn't do anything
Yeah.
for it.
I did watch it though. It's good. 1 to 2 beats a minute every week. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the other one was like these little high cadence drills.
I
think it was, like
improved the
cycling.
tags on that video actually, so I did do something.
Did you?
I did.
Thank you. High
There you
five.
go. Teamwork, guys. Teamwork. I've always worn headphones, but I'm going to try it without them this Saturday during the half. That's interesting, Carrie. If you have always worn headphones in a race, that I understand. If you've never gone running without headphones, this is the first time, you might consider having them for the first couple miles.
Or maybe bring the headphones as like a little security blanket. Don't have them on, and then if you feel like you need it,
Yeah.
it's good. I feel like, practice on some portions of your long run and the tempo runs. The hard stuff, we really need to focus. Music is good.
Yeah.
I've been listening to a lot of podcasts of late when I run. I feel like that's been kind of my standard thing,
Audible
even when I'm
books.
doing like hard stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really, I cannot listen to something that requires thinking and go hard at the same time. I need, as soon as I start going hard, I don't hear anything what they're saying, and so there's no point in having it on
It all
anyhow.
bleeds out.
The power beats, I haven't seen those.
Ooh.
Oh, is that from Beats? Maybe.
Power Beats.
Yeah.
Beats by Dre.
Beats by Dre. Okay. They actually did make a go at the running community, so maybe that's them. Yeah.
Does Dre have a YouTube channel? Does he want to be on our live show?
Maybe we should do that.
If
Plantronics.
anyone knows Dr. Dre, and
This is the part of the show where Nate just kind of goes off the rails. I use a music artist for Shure headphones to get clarity. Using them Sunday for the New York Marathon. Okay, cool.
oh, very cool.
Great. I am so of New York is kind of like the closing. It's like the last major race of the season. Right?
Yeah, it really
After
is.
this, I don't believe until next.
I think for the
spring.
World Marathon Majors, for sure, it's
Yep.
like the last big one. I feel it's always like Chicago, New York. There was like, Berlin, I feel like Amsterdam, like...
I want to go to
if
London
it's-
next year.
London. Guys,
London
should we
in
go to
April.
London next April?
Yeah.
You're about to go to South
I'm about to go to
Africa.
Cape Town. That's in a couple weeks. I can't believe that. That's crazy. And
is
there was a
crazy.
race down there, right? So I might run one while I'm down there.
You should.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
some great races
Who was
down
it that was telling us there's a race down there at that time?
Sam says, I use the music artist fave Shure headphones, great clarity. And then Dan said Plantronics Backbeat featuring Bluetooth headphones. Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
You guys all got them in.
So one of the things that we wanted to do on Sunday, also around the New York Marathon, is kind of like highlight the different pace groups so that you guys can see what people are looking like.
Yeah.
You guys did that in Chicago. What are the other kind of like things? And we are going to hopefully bring on some people and have some of you guys meet us out on the course to chat in
Totally.
person. This is the one time where you can be on our live show with us. So if you happen to be in New York, come by mile not 15, mile 23. And
Yeah.
we have an invite for that, right?
We have an invite for that. If you are on your email list, you'll got it. If you're in any of our Facebook groups, you have it. But we'll make sure it's posted in places where it needs to be.
Yep.
Come hang out with us. If you are running and your family doesn't know where to go, have them come hang with us.
Yep.
If you are in the city and you're not racing and you're just cheering, we'd love to see you. That'd be super fun.
The phaser. Oh, I had those. The phasers. I've had the phaser BH.
Yeah.
BHS ones. Yeah, you can get $30 headphones. I feel like the connection sometimes is not as great, or if they get wet, I've had problems with those because Bluetooth and water
I
operate.
guess
on
you
the
do
same.
get what you pay for to a certain degree.
Yeah,
All
to
these
some
gadgets.
degree. Yeah, totally. So New York Marathon, we're going to be out there for how long? 2 hours? 3 hours?
Yeah, 2-3 hours. In Chicago, I broadcast and spoke for 2 hours and 40 minutes straight.
Man, I tuned in for part of that.
Imagine doing this for 2 hours and 40 minutes.
We have done this now. How many? This is our 75th hour
I think
online.
it's our 75th show, yeah.
That's a lot of hours of footage that you can, my grandkids are going to be able to watch us,
I know. But the marathon was a lot of fun. It was so cool to hear everyone chiming in from all over.
Yeah.
For Chicago, people in New York,
Right.
or Kenya, all over Europe, we're all watching. So super fun. So I'm hoping we get a similar flavor and group of individuals out here for New York.
Yeah, I think that being able to see the leaders come by, then being able to see the semi-elites come by. One of the things I love about watching a major race like this is you really get to see the gamut of who runs a marathon. It's not, and for those of you who might be on the beginning path of running, I always had this opinion before I started running a lot of marathons that marathon runners are like the super elite crowd that you might see on television.
Yeah.
But there are all kinds of marathon runners, and the only thing that is in common, that with all of them is that there's just a certain amount of will you need to get past 26 miles, and it's amazing to see people who don't have huge backgrounds in running.
Yeah.
They haven't been running for 20 years, but they're still putting in the time and the effort, and they can make it out here.
Totally. So we just got a question about the competitive field. Who do we like? Do we like the idea potentially of Des Linden winning?
I like the idea of Shalane winning again. I think this is going to be her last race.
You think so?
I think so.
This hopefully should go off on a strong note. It's a very competitive men's and women's field, but let's just talk about the women for a second. Shalane, who won last year, is going to be here. Des Linden, who won her first major, is going to be there. Now, Des Linden is known as is a super steady, super consistent athlete and who really thrives well under like conditions that require more strength and fortitude than pure speed.
Right.
The New York City Marathon course is interesting. The New York City Marathon course is interesting because it's not like a pure speed race. It's like probably one of the slower world marathon major races.
Yep.
However, there's also Molly Huddle.
Is it slower than Boston?
It's slower than Boston.
Really?
I think. Yeah.
Maybe because there's
Boston
no
is-
downhill.
Yeah, Boston can be fast.
Yeah.
In a weird way, Boston can be fast. But there's this other woman, she's eluding my name, but she kind of came out of nowhere last year and got like fifth up there, another American woman. Molly Huddle, who was third here last year, is going to be here.
Yep.
Mary Katani from Kenya, who has run like a 2:17
That is insane.
and has won this 3 years in a row, or 3 times total. She's going to be here.
Was
So
she-
it's
was she
gonna be
racing
a very
last
big
year?
race.
Was she racing when Shalane won?
Yeah.
Was she?
Yeah, I think so.
Man, 217 is impressive.
Yeah, Molly Huddle always runs well in New York City. She's won the half, and she's concentrated on the marathon this year. So it's going to be super fun to see how that goes. Yeah, so we're super excited to see how things shake out. Fun things on the men's side, Bernard Lagat, who has won
They're just birds.
just pigeons,
Pigeons.
running through.
Indoors.
Yeah.
Just some New York Indoor pigeons.
He is 43, and he is running his first marathon competitively.
That is crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Right, totally crazy.
Yeah.
So it'll be so fun. But honestly, I'm really stoked to see all the women come through.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
I don't know the men's field as well. Galen's running,
Jeffrey Kimura won. No, Galen Rupp just ran Chicago.
Oh, okay.
So anyone running Chicago is probably not going to run this.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there's too many big American men who are racing this one. Yeah,
New York is competitive. And what is the prize? I have to actually go back and look. There are more. Okay, guys, when you're in New York, anything can happen. I don't know if you guys see the pigeons flying by, but it's just part of it.
I know.
Yeah.
So we can kind of wrap this, or start wrapping this up a little bit. So New York, big city marathon, a lot of fun, a lot of energy, people from all over the world to come. If you have the opportunity to come and spectate and jump in the race, by all means do so. I feel like it is such a special event.
When does the wall usually hit for y'all? How do you push through? I mean, for me, it's actually, people say mile 20. For me, it's usually later than that. It's usually like mile 23.
Yeah.
But I have had it happen in a pretty large way before.
It depends on your training and pacing. Sometimes I go through a hard moment earlier in, like 13 to 15 kind of sucks for me.
Yeah.
And then when I get over that, I'm sort of good.
I
And,
usually feel overly tired in the first couple miles, thinking like, oh man, like this feels like I'm going too hard. It feels like I'm more tired than I should be, given that I have 24 miles left.
Totally.
There are a lot of mental games I think that can be played.
It really can.
The wall, when they talk about it, is usually where you run out of glycogen, and they say that it can happen somewhere in the 2 and 3 hour range. But I think
your body stops recycling.
Yeah, your body stops recycling the pee.
And Edward, you were right. I was thinking about Ali Kiefer. I just saw that. She was the one who kind of came out of nowhere. And
there you go. Edward with the. It's too bad he's not here.
I know.
Right?
It was fun to hang out. Edward, it was fun to hang out in Chicago.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, so I think the wall. I mean, I think concentrating on your nutrition and concentrating on your pace are worthwhile things to think about. I don't think figuring out like, hey, am I going to hit the wall here? That is a very worthwhile endeavor.
Yeah.
Really focusing on your hydration and nutrition can really help you avoid having that kind of cliff. And of course, your pace early on in the race.
I think a race like New York it's by no means not impossible, but I think it is a challenging race to do for the first time and expect to run your best time ever.
Yeah.
So by all means perform well here, but like enjoy it. And I think just by taking that time pressure off, you might just enjoy the whole thing more. And you actually might have a better race because you're not so jammed up in the beginning. Make sure you bring all your snacks and your clothes out to the start. You've got a long wait ahead of time.
Yeah.
Be very patient in those early miles.
If you were going to run a marathon, like a road marathon next year, which one would you choose?
Chicago is interesting to me. I like the time of year, like the beginning of August. that seemed like a kind of a cool city. It's like not. Oh, it's still like a 4-hour flight there. It's still pretty far.
Yeah, no, Chicago's definitely a flight.
I think that could be kind of interesting. I don't know. If I were to
Yeah.
do a road.
I'm always kind of questioning whether I want to go to, hey, Liz runs far.
Hey.
I was also wondering whether I want to go to like an international location, because when I'm in an international location, I usually want to like hang out and go around. Like I wouldn't mind necessarily running it at the end of the trip there, but then
So I
you get
ran
the whole build up.
I ran the Venice Marathon once.
Okay.
Way back when
Interesting.
in Italy, and it was like a point-to-point race similar to Boston.
Okay.
Because we didn't run laps around
Okay,
things. But like we ran over the little bridges over the canals at the end.
Nice.
Those were the worst.
Oh,
they were
really?
so steep going up and going down.
Yeah.
And you had to run over 20.
And then you have the whole food thing. They have, sometimes like you're abroad, you can get sick. It's like there's a lot of variables when you're abroad. I would kind of like to do
conversely, a
something
lot
like
of you
that.
guys use races to travel, right?
That's true. Totally.
Yeah, so you got that whole thing.
Guys,
Well, maybe
so
we'll have to think about it.
let's do our Gleam link. If you
pull
guys
it up.
have not checked out the Gleam link for today, again, there's a Gleam link below, and you can win one of our marathon programs. We'll do the live drawing for that next week. And
Yeah, we
today we
will.
have Brad's book, right? Twice.
Yes.
So last week we had Brad Stolberg on, who actually I met last Sunday at meditation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
That's great. And so yeah, Brad was generous enough to offer us 2 books signed
Really
of peak
nice.
performance. And and one last thing, next Tuesday is voting day. So if you guys have not planned on voting, we think that you should, from the Run Experience, no matter what your affiliation is.
Do your civic duty as
Yes.
much as you do your
health duty.
running competitive duty or whatever you want to say. So we're gonna do our 2 winners here.
Fantastic.
We're going to draw, dun, 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 dun. And our winners are. Hold on. Let's see.
Like this.
I'm gonna double check this. Yeah. Hold on, guys. I'm just getting this pulled up. It's a little smaller on
Get
my
it on the phone. Same with the. Same
Yeah,
with the,
yeah, yeah.
And 100%. There we go.
All right. So we have Jenna Kinsey, one of our
Say-
sponsored athletes.
Oh yeah, fantastic.
Jenna Kinsey from Dallas, Texas. Congratulations.
Yeah.
You are one of the winners. And
Run
Pat
to your polling station. That's
Crisafulli,
right. Pat Crisafulli.
from Oswego, New York. You also a winner of Brad's Peak Performance book. Guys,
Fantastic.
it's a really fantastic book.
Drum roll
it's
indeed.
a really great read. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I got a lot out of it.
So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We will be live lots this week. We will try to do an expo thing. We'll definitely do a race thing.
Yeah.
That's gonna be great. We need to bring food and our own sustenance. You're gonna be online. It's gonna be our own marathon.
We gotta bring snacks.
Yes.
Capri Suns.
Lots of snacks.
Can we get Capri
No,
Suns?
we have to bring like health food.
Oh jeez. Okay. See some of you guys on Saturday. We'll
Guys,
see the rest of you guys on Sunday.
We will see you guys in just a couple days.
All right.
Ciao.